welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Rich. How's it going, Rich?
It's going pretty good, Joe. How are you doing?
Good. I was a couple seconds late. I had to go grab me my iced tea out of the fridge.
You got to get all the stuff together before the show, man. I was doing the ice water and everything right before we went on.
I was doing that, but my family was asking me something, and then I was like, crap, I gotta get this. So, what did you think of Raw last night, man?
Well, if it matters, it was better than last week's. But then again...
But that ain't saying much.
No,
but
it
I
was
will
not.
say, I thought, as a show overall, it wasn't too bad.
No, it was all right. It was like, they, for some reason again, I get the feeling like the main event of the upcoming pay-per-view is always featured like early. But then now I know why, because they're saying that the ratings drop off in the last hour. So they try to get that out there early.
I got on here, they reached over 3 million last night.
Oh, good.
In the viewership.
Yeah, so they're slowly getting there. I mean, let's see what happens now with
from what I saw from the last regular show, because last week really doesn't count because it's July 4th, that their viewership was up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, now they got no excuses. There's no NBA Finals. There's
nothing.
Nothing at all. So they got about good 5 weeks now before football preseason kicks off to start doing something big. So
I know, I can't wait, man. That's like a freaking drug.
I know.
But first I wanted to talk about, it's ironic, the first thing on the show, the Intercontinental #1 Contender Battle Royal.
Well, when I was watching it, at first I was like, okay, Apollo Crews is going to win this because he's the only one that didn't get a jobber entrance. But then all of a sudden I hear Bob Backlund's at ringside, and I was like, uh-oh, that's the way they're going to go. So, I mean, it's good because they have a new, basically, Darren Young's not new, but they got at least a new contender, somebody who's never challenged for the title that I'm aware of.
Yeah, and it almost felt like, and I hate saying this, but like they made him by winning that match.
Yeah.
Because he got a huge pop. Hold on, everybody. You
Hello?
there, Rich?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody was calling me right at the same time. Anyway.
I was shocked because he got a huge pop.
Yeah. I mean, he got a huge pop, but I think it's more because of Backlund.
And the other thing I said was I thought it was more because of disdain for the Miz, where they're like, yes, like, please, finally somebody beat the Miz because we're sick of seeing him on our radar screen, and it's... I actually had called Darren Young winning because they had been working house shows together.
Joey, I'm so sorry.
I'm
so sorry. Okay, I'm back.
I'm back. I just kept going.
Without interruption. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying I kind of had a feeling Darren Young was going to win because they've been working house shows.
Right. But the only thing I didn't like about the whole thing was that he should have at least went and
eliminated somebody
and helped and dumped over Cruz and Corbin.
Okay, he won by default.
Right. So it was like that could have been anybody then, the way they scripted it.
That would be interesting. Lance says in the chat that Darren Young's going to lose the match to The Miz and then go batshit crazy on Backlund.
I think that will only happen if it was building to that, though, because they just started the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to bring in Backlund right now and then just get rid of him right away, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not putting it past WWE, and I'm not saying that Lance is wrong. So I'm just saying what makes sense in my mind. So, and in the minds of everybody else. Like to have something with so much buildup and then just have it pretty much end on a one-off. So
I don't know where they're going because maybe they do give Darren Young the strap because if they're smart and build him the right way, that could be a very big thing for them, not in the LGBT community.
oh, for sure. And there'll be, which it's sucky to say this, but I really think that they're using that Orlando thing to capitalize on it too.
Yes.
So.
Oh, it wouldn't shock me. Vince is, known to do things like that.
I'm surprised that horrible tragedy happened on a Saturday. I'm surprised that he didn't get that title shot the Monday right after.
Yeah.
So.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see where they take it, but to me, it makes more sense to have them feud for a while, and let's say that Darren Young wins the title, and he holds on to it for whatever amount of time, and then he loses it, and then he starts losing, he loses the rematch, and then, he loses a couple more matches, and that's when he tells Becklin to fuck off or whatever. So.
Hey, yeah. That makes sense. Like, if I were them, I would wait until SummerSlam and let him win it, like, on one of the bigger events of the year.
Right. I agree with that.
But we know WWE doesn't think along those lines. Because it actually makes sense.
Exactly. But hey, if Shane McMahon supposedly is going to have all this power and is going to change things up, and we'll get to that. So then,
yeah. The other thing that I loved was the Rollins report. That was great.
He stole the book. It's funny. He stole the page out of Kurt Angle's book, and then he does the same thing that Kurt Angle did to The Rock years ago to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And
the part that I was dying, he was like, "Oh, you're just a monster."
You don't care who you hurt, huh?
Yeah. It shows you what WWE really thinks of Roman Reigns right about now.
I'm saying, man. I can't always say that Vince is right, but if he wants to drag this on and be pissed about this for a long period of time, I don't blame him.
There you go. Dino in the chat says Bob Backlund's going to chicken wing Darren Young when he loses.
There you go.
Dude, I thought he was going to have a stroke where he's like, yeah.
When he lifted up Darren Young, I was like, that's not a good idea.
So awkward.
Like, that's not a good idea, Bob. Don't do that. You're not like
you're not 25 anymore.
Right. Not that anybody that last remembers seeing you remembers you being anywhere near your 20s, but still.
But this thing with the Rollins report is it's so weird how they're booking him.
Rollins?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, one minute you think he's a face because, like, he's accepting anybody. People come out and challenge him and he accepts the challenge. Then a second later, he's doing, like, heelish things like that. So it's confusing because it's like, okay, well, what is he doing here? And I think he should just, or they, because it's not really him himself.
Yeah.
They should just drop the thing already with Roman Reigns should be taking out the match. Listen, he's not going to be taking out the match. Like it or not, he's going to be there. So.
But I think he has a very uphill battle now because all the reports I've been reading is Vince is quote unquote down on him and that he wants to make Rollins and AJ Styles the face of both brands.
I have no problem with that because that's, at least in Rollins' case, because he's, 28 years old?
Yeah.
Rollins, you could get another 10, 12 years out of Rollins. AJ, maybe not. But
what I had read, Rich, the thing about Styles was Vince was angry because he said he should have, quote, hired him 10 years ago.
Well, yeah. I mean, hello, Vince. What the fuck? And then again, though, you can't really blame Vince because they did offer him a development contract. and he just refused to move his family to. It wasn't Orlando at the time. It was Ohio, I think.
Yeah, OVW.
So, yeah, he didn't want to move him there.
Which I respect that.
Right, and that's fine. But now, in the end, he still ended up, signing there. I mean,
the more I think about it, he's going to have a very uphill battle because Finn Balor's coming up soon, and he's going to get a monster push. You know what I mean? He's really going to have to bust his ass to get back in the good graces,
Yeah. And I said this a long time ago, not to you. This is the first time we're talking about this with Finn Balor. But my thing was, leave him down there until you're ready to give him the keys to the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because Finn Balor should be your next guy. Should be the guy who is your next
guy.
Your next Cena, whatever, Hogan. You know what I mean? In terms of popularity and merchandise and Austin, whatever you insert name here, that should be Finn Balor.
Yeah.
The top guy. If you're gonna bring him up just to have him like, oh yeah, I'm gonna chase the Intercontinental title or something, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, well, because he just needs that big, huge push when he first comes up. So people are familiar with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't get, not that I'm even comparing these two, because it's disrespect. Like what happened to Apollo Crews, you just kind of, let's just throw him here.
Yeah. I still don't even understand how that happened. How guys who have been in NXT a hell of a lot longer than him are still there. And he just jumped like boom, boom, like that quick. Without getting the skills that he needed to get polished. But,
yeah, well, the promo thing to me is the most glaring.
Oh, exactly.
And he reminds me, and we've probably talked about this before, of a guy that's just happy to be there.
Right. I knew that his promo skills were in the toilet when he said, Dusty Rhodes gave me the name Apollo Crews. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, your mom and dad did. That's how it's supposed to go. Suspension of disbelief.
God.
That's when he had those couple of one-off matches with the now departed Stardust.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, Dusty Rhodes gave me the name Apollo Crews. And I was like, wow, okay.
Way to kill what little kayfabe is left.
Exactly. That was like Kofi Kingston talking about country music, remember? This isn't even my character telling you. I'm telling you. Country music sucks. I'm like, really? It's not even your character. Okay.
Dude, well, that's like, dang, I just lost my train of thought. That's a good idea. Lance said that in the chat they should put a mask on him and make him a killer, like heel with a manager.
There you go. Bring back Teddy Long, just to make sure this time he doesn't have a couple drinks.
Yeah, make him like Doom.
Yeah. Just
make sure that's what I was gonna say. Make him like he is on his Twitter. Apollo Crews is a dick on Twitter.
I don't know because I don't have Twitter, but I believe what you're saying.
No, I haven't followed him or anything, but it might have been in the Radicals group or another group. They put up like some of the stuff he was saying on Twitter, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Like it was like a bunch of obscenities and like a tirade he went on.
Yeah, well, you remember his first match ever in the company for Takeover in Brooklyn. He came out and the camera was right on him when he was like, "Fuck!" Like he was happy. I was like, "Oh shit, they just caught you."
I remember that.
Yeah, so.
I just wish, dude, that they would have Ambrose and Rollins one-on-one. I don't want to see a three-way.
Well, we are going to get Ambrose and Rollins
one-on-one. I know,
but
I meant on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so, I don't know. They're going to stick with it only because they feel that there's some people out there that still want to know who's the better of the three now that the three are fighting. But the problem is that casual fan, diehard fan, Mark, whatever, you know Roman Reigns ain't going to win. You got to know that.
He's probably going to take the fall.
Exactly. So why bother?
Plus, he's going to get booed 10 times worse than he would have if he didn't get suspended.
Beyond imagination how much he's going to get booed. So
plus, you're going to hear, because they're in Washington, D.C., which is a smart city, they're going to hear a lot of chants about his drug test that he failed.
Exactly.
So it's going to be ugly.
They'll start the weed the people chants or something.
Or like the druggy.
Yeah.
they'll do something. The fans are creative. But hey, I like actually how you mentioned Ambrose and Rollins for the belt next week on Raw. They promoted it a week ahead.
Thank God, because usually, if they're not gonna surprise us and have it right then and there, then it's good that they put a little promotion behind it, and hopefully they add on a little bit to it tonight as we're speaking now on SmackDown. So
hey, we can't have any shenanigans because Roman's not due back till after the draft.
Exactly.
I think it's Thursday. He's due back next Thursday.
Yep.
I'll tell you this, dude. We have a house show in Wildwood at the Jersey Shore here.
Mm-hmm.
And originally, it was supposed to be Ambrose in the main event. Then they changed it to Reigns in the main event. Now they just took the complete card down.
Wow.
So I'm assuming they're waiting until after the draft.
Right.
To, figure out which card is going to go there. But I was just like, wouldn't they have done that, weeks ago?
Exactly. Just so long they give you somebody good. You don't want to get the Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan versus Big Show and Kane main event.
my buddy Jason had that, so I felt bad for him.
Poor Jason.
Now we're going to talk about... This was my favorite thing of the night, was the New Day and the Wyatt segment.
Yeah, for anybody out there who says that they ripped off Final Deletion or whatever, please, okay? Final Deletion for some people was epic. They like seeing Matt Hardy's face coming out of a fucking drone or whatever. That was ridiculous, and the only reason why it got so much traction was because of the ridiculousness behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The New Day thing with the Wyatts was shot more like a horror movie. Now, I don't know why New Day...
Plus, the Wyatts have had this gimmick for 3 years.
Exactly. So, and I'm not sure... The only part that I'm kind of questioning is why was the New Day just allowed to leave? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was weird.
When they're surrounded by the Wyatts and then more of the Wyatts.
Fireflies.
Yeah, so how do you just escape that? So, but...
That was weird. When I watched it, I don't know if you've seen these movies, but it reminded me of a couple Rob Zombie films, like House of a Thousand Corpses and the
Devil's Rejects. Yeah, the only one I ever saw was Devil's Rejects, and I saw his remake on Friday the 13th. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like that, yeah.
That's how I felt when I saw it. That's what it reminded me of.
Except that the bad guys really didn't win. Because that's how it always plays out.
It was like a big upended ending.
Yeah. But, they were ready.
Lance says in the chat, he says, I don't want to watch these stupid taped fights. If I want to watch a shitty fight movie, I'll watch old kung fu movies.
Exactly.
Well, the thing that really made me laugh was when they thought they had beat Strowman down, and he gets up and he lets out the...
Strowman was even stumbling through that. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
It's wow. I don't even know what to say about Braun Strowman anymore. It's
Rowan is the only one that can really, keep a stoic face. He shows, no emotion.
Yeah, because that's what he was asked to do. But Strowman, I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, what else can be said about Braun Strowman that hasn't already been said?
I felt bad, Rich, for the people that went to the house shows this weekend, or this past week, and got Bray Wyatt versus The Big Show as their main event.
Are you fucking serious?
Dead serious.
That's when you demand a refund. There was a guy last night. There was a report last night that a guy got a refund for his tickets for Raw because John Cena wasn't going to be there. But then John Cena ends up being there. So why give him the refund? Were they kayfabing the fan? Like what?
I don't know.
Yeah, you've gone through so much work to smarten up the fans, right? So why did they just say no? He's going to be here. He's just not going to wrestle. I don't know. But that was a real report from yesterday. Somebody got a refund at Raw because John Cena was not there.
That's a good one, Lance. He said when they came up to his way, which is near Vancouver, he had Wyatt versus Ambrose.
Well, thank God for him then.
Which is the working plan from everything I've read leading into SummerSlam.
Good, and it should be for the title because
yes, that's what I've read.
Yeah, because Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt, just for no reason, we've seen that concert already. So
and Wyatt beat him every single time.
Exactly, Dean Ambrose has never beaten him.
No,
Ambrose beat him on the show that doesn't really count. That Tribute to the Troops crap.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. But you see, that really doesn't count because those are the one time a year where you'll see guys go over that never go over.
I don't know if you saw this. Matt Hardy tweeted about the Wyatt New Day thing.
Yeah, taking credit, saying that they were going to that they stole his idea or whatnot.
Mind you, I don't know if you read this. I think TNA is actually going under because they don't have the money to even do their tapings tonight.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Well, hey, I
don't know how true it is, but that's what I had read.
Give Matt Hardy a camcorder, I guess, since that's what that's what's bringing fans to your product. And, let him sit there he killed off Brother Nero, didn't he? So
yeah,
I guess he's got to go somewhere new.
Delete.
Yeah.
I want to just touch on this really quick as a little blip here because I saw it as I was flipping through my notes. How fucking bad is Dana Brooke?
Oh God. Listen, Emma somewhere is convalescing, thinking to herself, after all my hard work and being an actual underrated good wrestler, I have to sit at home and watch this shit. There's people, women, all over the world and some of them that work in NXT that have more skill in their ponytail, their whatever you call it, that holds it in place, than Dana Brooke has in her whole body. And this is what we have to, be subjected to.
I know. I want to bring up something real quick that Dino said in the chat. He says he feels sorry for all the ring staff and the wrestlers that TNA fucked over in the United Kingdom in August. I don't know if you heard about this.
What, that they were supposed to go? Wasn't it that they were supposed to go and now they're not? Or is it that they went and did?
I think it was that, or that they had talent that they had originally let go over there, and then they told them they couldn't.
I think that's what I read too. Yeah. And that's the funny thing. That's like the one place where they actually have a pretty decent market.
Yeah, they have a really big following in the UK.
Yeah, at one point they were getting higher ratings over there than WWE.
Yeah.
And
remember, they were doing lots of tours over there and selling out.
Yeah. But again, what can you do, man? I mean, Dixie Carter has done everything possible to try to stay afloat. She doesn't have her dad's money anymore. Just say it's over. That's it. It's done.
Yeah, they won't just wave the white flag.
Yeah. Just give it up.
All right, Lance says in the chat, Rich, that Hardy was the worst thing he's ever seen. He said, and I watched the Sting Vader White Castle of Fear.
Well, to be fair, the Sting Vader White Castle of Fear mini movie was horrible. Just like the bash at the or beach blast, whatever it was back in those days.
Yeah.
But the actual strap match itself was freaking brutal.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it a lot. That was like the first time as a child that I got to see Vader like look human. He was bleeding. Sting had him all fucked up, even though he won the match. So, but the Hardy thing. First of all,
I watched it, but it was painful.
Yeah. First of all, if your enemy, the guy that you're like trying to get rid of, is like technically your neighbor, that's already bad business to begin with, right there. You know what I mean? So.
Well, and I'll tell you this. Reba Sky blocked me on Twitter.
And you should be so happy about that. And
I sent her a message one time. It was when she was... Remember when she went on that tirade about, like, fuck the fans over her kid?
Mm-hmm.
And I basically tweeted her something to the effect of, if you were as important as you thought you were, maybe you would, like, actually make money. And then I put like hashtag wives ruin lives. And so needless to say, I got blocked.
Wow. Well, you wasn't lying.
I just always remember that. But sorry, we got sidetracked. I watched Dana Brooke last night about Sasha, and I feared for Sasha Banks' health.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Sasha... it wasn't last night's episode. It was a couple weeks ago when it was Sasha and Paige against Charlotte and Dana. Mm-hmm. And when Dana fucks up, Sasha potatoes the shit out of her.
Oh.
So I think Dana's on that thing where it's like, you know what? Let me just shut up and let her lead the match because if not, she's going to kick in my fucking fake nose or something.
Well, remember we talked the last time we had the show that she probably gave Dana one of the hardest working punches I've ever seen.
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. Yes. And it's like, bitch, stay in place.
Because you just saw her collapse like she literally got popped in the mouth.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Because if I'm...
Like Harry, one of our guys in the chat, said... he would like Dana Brooke if she didn't do that, like, muscular man pose.
Yeah, it's horrible. And if I'm Sasha Banks, I am going to potato the shit out of her, even if she doesn't fuck up in the ring, because why is she getting all this airtime for being horrid, right? And I'm sitting back at home or in the back over there, waiting to be put on TV when I'm clearly one of the best, or in my opinion, the best woman wrestler on the roster.
Yeah.
So I potato the shit out of her too if I had a chance to.
Well, the thing that makes me laugh, they put Dana with Charlotte, and I've read things where people will say, well, Charlotte's a quote-unquote veteran, and we're going to put her with her. Charlotte's only been wrestling 3 years.
Listen, they put Dana there because she was supposed to be with Emma, and Emma hurt her back.
Exactly. That's what Lance just said. She was a last-minute replacement.
And they needed somehow, some way, they figured this would be a smarter idea to get rid of Ric Flair the lackey and add on Dana Brooke the lackey. Which, if you've noticed, Charlotte's lost about more matches in the few weeks that she's been with Dana Brooke than she ever did the whole time she was with her father.
I think Rick and them had a falling out because now he's got a lot of independent dates.
Hey, maybe they did. I mean, who knows?
I don't know for certain, but I just saw that he has a lot of indie dates coming up from now to the fall.
And he's working for MLW Radio, who you should know WWE is not fond of.
Yes.
Headed up by good old Court Bauer. So.
Yes, because his show just came back, his podcast.
Right. So, and for whatever reason, any of those guys that are over there that work for MLW, like...
WWE does not like them.
No. Jim Cornette, MVP, just a few guys off the top of my head that it's like.
Well, Cornette's just.
Yeah, Cornette is Cornette. He's stuck in his ways, and it is what it is. So sometimes.
Well, now we got to get to the main event of the evening with Vince naming who's running what show.
Well, he said that Stephanie has been this nice, prissy, whatever, and I'm like, what? Where the hell have you been, Vince?
What show are you watching?
Because it's like, if he doesn't know what the fuck is going on his own show, then how the fuck do we know?
Or how are we going to take it seriously?
Yeah. So that even Stephanie, I think Stephanie, that might have been a shoot right there where she was like asking the crowd, "Am I nice?" They were like, "No." So
Lance, I agree with Lance. He said that this segment should have opened the show, not closed it.
Exactly. Or should have been like at the top of the 9 o'clock hour or something. You know what I mean? And they should have ended the show with the Rollins report.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, it was what it was. It was, some parts of it looked like it was, they were really mad at each other. Like when Shane just snatched the microphone out of her hand, I was like, oh shit, okay.
I think they have legitimate heat.
Yeah. And when she mentioned the thing about Mick Foley's podcast, which she basically said right there to everybody that her father doesn't watch WWE Network, if you notice. She was like, Dad, you haven't seen Mick Foley's podcast, but Shane said blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so you're telling everybody that Vince does not watch the network, huh?
Well, and it sounds like you're 12 years old all over again. Dad, my brother did this.
Yeah. He did this. He should be in timeout. Can I get some money for ice cream?
This is the thing that makes me laugh. They had Foley do Shane's interview on the network, which is kind of, Who did they get to do Stephanie's?
Chris Jericho.
And he threw her softball after softball after softball.
Exactly. Kind of like Foley was trying to, he was deterring.
Ask, like, thought-provoking questions.
Listen, that's why they say they have up these polls for WWE shows or whatever, right? They need to just put Stone Cold Podcast should be the only, on-air interview show on the network, period. Because he gets to the bottom of everything.
That's what they don't like.
Exactly.
Because they can't control him.
Exactly. Like, I want to see the Stone Cold Podcast with special guest Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
Why'd you do it, Roman? What were you doing? Smoking the weeds? You know what I mean?
Taking the E.
Yeah. You still have any? You got any left?
For those of you that didn't watch last night, Shane is running SmackDown and Stephanie is running Raw.
Yeah.
But what was there was a different word they used. It wasn't general manager.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
First of all, it went from COO, then it went to commissioner. And correct me, Joey, if I'm wrong here, because you've watched wrestling pretty much along the same time that I have, I think. Yeah. Isn't commissioner and general manager the same fucking thing, at least in the WWE?
Yeah. And WWE did themselves no favors. If you saw, they already accidentally leaked potentially who the GM is of SmackDown.
Yeah. I knew that last night when in the group when they had the live show that they do after 11, the Insomniacs Roundtable.
Yes.
That when that question came up of like who's gonna be whatever, I put Daniel Bryan SmackDown. That was before I even read anything. I just had that feeling. And the reason why I got that feeling was because they have Daniel Bryan already showing up on the network with Mauro Ranallo being the commentary team for the Cruiserweight Classic.
Which I'm very excited to watch.
Oh, so am I. Right after NXT, that's 2 great hours of wrestling right there. So I don't know why it just clicked in my brain. Daniel Bryan's going to be, somehow a part of SmackDown. And then when I heard, that they have to name a general manager, I was like, yep, there it is. So,
Well, I would pretty much put money on who's going to be the Raw general manager.
who you got?
Triple H.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Has to be. That's like the only person that's, Stephanie doesn't have to worry about, backstabbing her or whatever. So, it'll be interesting to see. And it'll be interesting to see how they split up the roster. Because as of right now, they haven't said, the world title is the WWE title, because the world heavyweight champion part is gone. The WWE champion is on both shows. The women's champion is on both shows. The tag team champion, they haven't said that. So it'll be interesting to see how they work that out.
Absolutely. Because are they going to make 2 tag belts, or you know?
Yeah. Well, we already know that a second
heavyweight title
is on the way. Which, if it's going by the design that I saw, I don't know. Did you see that online?
The blue one?
Yeah, it's the same exact belt that Dean Ambrose has, except it's painted with blue in the bottom.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, but I would have figured that they would have had something a little different. But then again, I think what they're doing is that they're gonna just slowly change all the titles into looking like that to give it like a UFC feel, I guess. Because all the UFC titles look the same, no matter who's holding it.
Yeah.
So
talk about UFC. What a night they had.
Oh, very good night. Brock Lesnar came back, dominated Mark Hunt. Misha Tate taps out in the first round.
How shocking was that?
Super shocking. That's that's what we call what us wrestling fans call the transitional title. Every first defense it changes.
Ronda Rousey's the only one that's defended it more than once.
Yeah. And the funny thing was that she was just handed that belt. She didn't even earn it. So
that's a very valid point.
So there you go. It's the title that's now cursed.
And I believe, whether people want to believe it or not, that Brock's going to go back eventually full-time to UFC.
Yeah, he'll just wait for his WWE gig to finish off.
Like Lance said, and you've read this, hey, great night for Brock, $2.5 million?
There you go.
That's a big fucking purse just to do the fight?
Yep.
Jesus.
And what was it, 15 minutes of work? So, because the rounds are 5 minutes, right? And so, and it was only, and it went the full 3 rounds. So there you go.
And I'm sure a lot of people from the U.S. got pissed off with him wearing all Canadian gear.
Yeah. But, hey, that's where
he lives in Newfoundland now.
Yeah, that's where he's got his little
ranch or whatever the hell you want to call it.
His farm. He's got it over there.
Because they talked about that on the Stone Cold podcast.
Yeah.
Now, I want to see what's going to happen, obviously, tonight, but more so next Tuesday night with the live draft.
Yeah, because they were saying during commentary last night, like, whoa, you don't know if you can really pick Brock Lesnar because how could you build your brand around a guy that's not around all the time?
That's true.
But back in the days, old school wrestling, you didn't see the champ every week. You know what I mean?
Kind of like the same thing with Andre the Giant, which I think has hurt the Big Show. Because if the Big Show was around back then, you didn't see him as much. He would be more of an attraction.
Right. So, I mean, that's pretty much what Big Show's turned into now. But and like I was just saying, you didn't see the champ every week. You didn't see him on every card. They'd build up one guy over a month or two to get that shot at the champion.
Okay, Lance is correcting me. I stand corrected. Brock lives in Saskatchewan, not Newfoundland.
Get your Canadian, the parts of Canada
I gotta
right.
get it right, eh?
Hey, real quick, even though this has nothing to do with Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Last night, when Enzo and Cass were facing off against Anderson and Gallows, Carl Anderson has a knee pad that says #BC on it.
I saw that.
So I'm pretty sure that once he was questioned about it backstage, he was like, it means before Christ, booty call. Doesn't mean what you think.
I love Vancouver.
Means British Columbia, man.
I saw that too.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You can't say that you fucking accidentally bought that out of nowhere because they've made all of them fucking new gear.
Yeah.
So, unless they're, they're dropping little subliminal hints like Balor Club.
I'm sure Japan just loved that.
Hey,
They're like, all right, we're gonna get some more money out of Vince.
Yes. So
because they own the rights, correct?
Yeah. I just never understood why they just called those guys the Club. Why not call them Bulletproof or something? You know what I mean? The Club.
It's like one of those things where, almost like how WCW did when Hall and Nash came in. You know who we are, but you don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, we're the Bullet Club, but we can't call ourselves the Bullet Club, so we're just the Club.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it would have made more sense for them to have Bullet in the first name and then something else at the end. So.
Absolutely. They like the one they were talking about, the Bulletproof.
Yeah. Why didn't they call it Bulletproof?
I would have loved to have seen Finn Balor join them, but I don't see it happening.
No. I mean, I honestly thought for a moment there that when they did that whole "we're gonna beat up John Cena" segment or whatever, that it would have been like Balor to come out to help him.
Yeah.
But they. Oh, and I also want to congratulate Enzo and Cass. Why do you ask? Because they have done what Vince McMahon could not do for the last 10 years. Get John Cena over as a babyface. Did you hear that crowd last night when he came out? Cena,
they were
Cena,
hot.
Cena. No, Cena sucks. Everybody was saying Cena, Cena, Cena when he came out. So,
and they've done something that hasn't really been done since Stone Cold. They got another hot catchphrase.
Oh, there you go. How you doing? So, yeah.
I mean, I guess you would say the yes, but I don't really kind of think that is a catchphrase.
No. Because nobody was, and when he was talking and stopping in between sentences, nobody was going, yes. So, yes got off like,
the other thing I want to bring up, the slap that Stephanie gave Shane. Holy cow.
I'll tell you one thing, he was tough because he didn't he didn't turn his head or nothing.
No, he didn't even flinch. And then the funniest part is Stephanie almost breaking her ankles.
Yes, that was karma coming back to her for being so horrible all these months. But it was
funny. Did you see her all trying to walk away? All yeah.
That reminded me of years ago on the Jerry Springer show when that guy was trying to act all tough and he fell off his chair. Yes. And the whole crowd was cracking up, and then he picked up the chair, sat down again with his hands on the back and said "Oh, I'm just chilling." And I'm like, yeah, we also just saw that. Even Shane pointed it out. That was the funny part.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So, like I said, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I think that SmackDown should go back to being the wrestling show like it was before. Remember when they had the SmackDown 6 and all that?
Yeah.
And let Raw be the fucking storytelling caca.
That'll make Lance actually watch SmackDown.
There you go. It'll make us all watch SmackDown.
Because, Lance, how long has it been since you watched SmackDown? I think he said it's been at least 2 or 3 years.
Dude, everybody saw SmackDown last week for one reason only. To see who Brock Lesnar was going to face at SummerSlam.
But that was good marketing.
Yeah, because they did not give it away to the live crowd. So...
Yeah, that was even better, but then they gave it away to the freaking Canadian crowd. So everybody knew, in the U.S. at least.
Yep.
All right, Lance said the last one he watched was the live Christmas one, whenever that was. 2 years.
Jeez.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I used to love SmackDown when they had the guys you're talking about, Benoit and Guerrero and
Angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. So they need to do that now with Owens and Cesaro, Neville if he's coming back.
The club.
Yes. So
Neville's supposed to be back anytime.
there you go. So, and
I feel so bad for Randy Orton, even though I don't care for him. He's going to get, like, annihilated in his first match back.
well, you read the reports a few months ago, and I remember hearing it from Ric Flair's mouth on his podcast before it got brought back.
And he got in trouble with that.
Yeah, he said Randy Orton wants like a deal like Undertaker and whatever. So there you go. You want a deal like?
It's insane to me that you would put a guy in a match with Lesnar who's been out over a year that has well documented neck and shoulder problems.
Yeah, and not only that, let's just say that he came back from like a broken ankle or something.
Yeah.
Like Neville has. Why put a guy who is a top star coming back from injury in a match that you know he's clearly not going to win?
Plus, it could potentially be incredibly dangerous.
Yep.
Because let's keep it real. Brock doesn't give a flying fuck about who he's in the ring with.
No, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody.
No.
He said it already. He doesn't give a shit about what...
Yeah, remember that was... when they asked him that at the UFC press conference before the fight. They said, oh, how do you feel about, if you lose, how WWE is going to market you for SummerSlam? He's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a... And he said, I don't give a shit about the fans. He's like, don't get me wrong. I know that they're the reason why I make the money I make or whatever, but I only give a shit about me. And that's the truth, folks.
It's the truth, but that's not a good way to make the fans happy.
Yeah, and I don't think he cares. Because at the end of the day, he's smart enough to know that no matter what he says, they're going to come out and see him. So now that he said that, some people want to see him get his ass kicked.
I've never really been a Lesnar fan, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's... How do I say this? It's like his shtick is running thin.
Yeah, because it's all the same thing now, though. It's like the suplex counting and whatever, like,
The last great match he really had was that triple threat at the Rumble.
Where he was on his back most of the time because he was nursing the injury from Rollins jumping through the announce table on him.
Yes.
So...
As you can see, there you go.
So, I mean, hey, it is what it is with Brock Lesnar. You're going to get 13 German suplexes and one F5. You don't like it, then tough shit. Don't buy a ticket. That's basically the way that they're seeing it.
Yeah, basically.
So.
All right, everybody. We're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. And we'll see you back for the next one. Take care now.